Alright, hey guys. Today we're talking about circumference again, but now we're looking at it in application. Okay, so the first one says, what is the diameter of Gavin's circle in centimeters? So remember, anytime you see a circle, I automatically want you to write an RDCA chart, or really dumb circles always chart, okay? Now remember to write times 2, diameters times pi. We use 3, remember? And then areas r times pi. But we're putting an x there because we're not looking for area yet. So I want to know the diameter. So first, I know the radius. Remember, half the distance across a circle is the radius. So 4.5. Now, to get from radius to diameter, I'm just going to take it and multiply it times 2. Remember, you multiply like normal with decimals. Okay, now you count the number of numbers behind the decimal and move it over. Okay, so 9 centimeters is my diameter. I'm also going to write it here. Now I want to know what is the circumference of Gavin's circle. Use pi is approximately 3 1400ths. Remember, we don't use that. So all of your questions are going to see this, but remember, we use 3. So I want to find the circumference, so all I'm going to do is take the diameter, which is 9, multiply it times pi. 9 times 3 is 27. So his circumference is 27 centimeters. That's it. It's that easy. All right? Remember, you can always pause and copy, or if I'm going too fast, you can go back and watch it again. All right, the second one says, Joaquin draws a circle on a sheet of grid paper. What is the circumference of the circle that Joaquin drew? Use pi for 22 is approximately 22 over 7. Remember, we use 3. I see a circle, so I'm going to draw my RDCA chart. Okay. I don't know anything yet, but I'm going to use the grid paper. Here's one side and here's the other. I'm going to go ahead and count across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So remember, when it goes all the way across, that's your diameter. And to find the radius, we just go backwards. So 8, instead of times 2, we're going to divide by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So half of that is 4, which we can see clearly. My radius is 4. And then to find the circumference, we're just going to take 8, our diameter, and multiply it times pi, which we're using 3. So 8 times 3 is 24. So our circumference is 24 units. And remember, we're not doing area, so I'm going to put an X there. Forgot. All right, the next one we're going to do is number 3. Lily Mae measures the length of the radius of her bedroom clock. She glues ribbon around the edge of the clock. What is the length of the ribbon Lily Mae glues around her clock? Use pi is approximately 3 1400ths. Remember, we're going to use 3. So it says she's going to glue ribbon around the edge. That is what tells me I'm finding circumference right there. Remember, circumference is just a fancy word for perimeter of a circle. So whenever you see anything involving the edge, the outside distance, anything like that, we're finding circumference. And I see a circle, so automatically doing my RDCA chart. I'm not doing area, so I'm crossing that off. Okay, we want to know the length of the ribbon. There's nothing extra to it, so we're just finding circumference. Now, I know my radius is 2 5/10. So I'm going to go ahead and write that there. To find the diameter, I'm just going to multiply that times 2. Okay, 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. I'm multiplying with decimals, so I count the decimal. So my diameter is 5. And then again, just to find circumference, all you do is take the diameter times pi, which is 3, and it's approximately 15. So 15 inches. That's how long the ribbon needs to be. All right, number 4. A tire from Karen's car is shown below. Which is closest to the distance traveled in feet after 3 full rotations of the tire? Use pi is approximately 22/7. Remember, we're using 3. So here's what's happening with this one. When we're talking about a tire and distance traveled, we want to know this outside distance, because if it rotates 3 times, it's going this distance 3 times. So whatever I get under my plan, since I know this is a multi-step, I'm going to find circumference, and then I'm going to multiply by 3. Okay? Because I want to know after 3 full rotations. So I see a circle, going to do my RDCA chart. Okay, and then I put an X for area. We're not finding area. Okay, it doesn't really show us anything on the circle, but this distance right here, if you took this line and moved it all the way up, this is the diameter. It's telling you that this distance across is 28. So to go from radius to diameter, we do R times 2. So we're going to do the opposite and divide to find the radius. So 28 divided by 2 is just 14. Okay? Now I need to find the circumference. So I'm going to go back to diameter and multiply it times pi. Well, we use 3 for pi, so I'm going to multiply it times 3. Oh. So 84 is my circumference. Okay, now look, 88's right here. Remember, this is the estimation. But this is not our answer. We found circumference. Now we need to multiply it times 3. I got 252. So again, this is an approximation. Because we estimate pi to be 3, we have to use our judgment and pick the one that's the closest. Well, clearly 7 1/3 is not it. 22 is not it. It has to be D, 264 feet. It's not that far off. It's just a little bit more. All right, number 5. During basic training, Kevin learns how to read distances on a radar. What should Kevin conclude is the distance around the largest circle on the radar screen? Use pi equals 3.14. Okay, I cross that out and put 3. It's hard to see it, but there's a 3 there. So we're using 3. The first thing we need to do is count the radius. So on my circle, I've drawn it already. Here's my diameter. Here's my radius. I'm just going to count the radius for right now. So I have the radius is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. Okay? So my radius is 4.5. So I'm going to draw my RDCA chart over here. Okay, and I know my radius is 4 5/10. Now to get my diameter, I just multiply that times 2. Count the decimals, and you get the diameter is 9. Now to find circumference, which is all we're finding, we want to know the distance around the outermost circle. I just do 9 times pi, which is 3, and we get 27. Okay, now look at my answer choices. Remember, you want to pick the closest one because we estimated pi, so we have to estimate our answer. So F is the correct answer. All right, have a good day.